Welcome back to Behavior Change Basics. In this video, we will discuss the first step of any social marketing program, identifying your issue. But first, we want to share some important background information to make sure you're ready for the journey. We'll dive deeper into the context of social marketing to see how it fits within the broader field of behavior change. Then we'll introduce a case study by Road Crew, which we will refer to throughout the course. And finally, we will launch into Step 1, identifying your issue. But first, let's take a step back to consider the behavior change landscape. Where does social marketing fit? Social marketing is just one of three major tools used to encourage behavior change, along with education and law. Each has its strengths and is suited to different situations. Education is effective when people are already somewhat inclined toward the behavior, or when it's easy to explain why the behavior is in their self-interest. It works well when the competing behaviors aren't too appealing. For example, educational programs about recycling work well when people already care about the environment. However, education tends to offer vague, long-term paybacks. Telling people they might reduce their risk of cancer years down the line by quitting smoking is less compelling because the benefit feels distant and uncertain. Laws are used when behaviors are strongly ingrained, or the competing behaviors are overwhelmingly tempting. Think about drinking and driving. Legal consequences are necessary because the behavior is risky, culturally ingrained, and it often seems much more convenient than planning for alternative transportation. Law isn't about voluntary change. It's about mandates and enforcement, when education alone isn't enough. Social marketing falls somewhere in the middle. It's about encouraging voluntary behavior change for things people might not naturally want to do, but can be motivated to do with the right incentives. It shows clear, immediate benefits to make the behavior more appealing. For example, instead of telling people that quitting smoking reduces cancer risk, social marketing might highlight short-term benefits like saving money or having fresher breath. Throughout this course, we'll be referring to the Road Crew Social Marketing Program. This program was conducted in rural Wisconsin to address chronic drunk driving problems among young men. They recognized that young men in their 20s and early 30s, working in blue-collar jobs, were driving drunk after nights out with friends. This group liked to party, were proud of their cars, and often smoked while driving. Instead of trying to stop them from drinking at all, Road Crew offered a fun, safe alternative: party limousines. They bought second-hand limousines that could shuttle groups between bars all night and take them home safely. They positioned it as a fun, social experience, something cool and desirable. Not a lecture about safety, the price was affordable, and the limos let them continue partying while being driven safely. They promoted the service in bars, movie theaters, and on local TV. The results were astounding. They reduced alcohol-related crashes by 18% in the first year. Over 7 years, they prevented 140 crashes, saved 6 lives, and saved the community $31 million in car crash expenses. Now, let's dig into Step 1 of planning a social marketing program. Step 1. Identifying your issue. This might sound simple, but identifying the issue is crucial and often more challenging than it seems. You need to clearly define the social issue you're addressing, the campaign's focus, and the intended impact or benefit. Without a clear purpose, your campaign won't have the direction or motivation it needs to succeed. It's important to clearly identify your issue. You need to really think about what social issue the campaign is addressing. What's the campaign's focus? And importantly, what is the campaign's purpose? That is, what's the intended impact or benefit of this campaign? It's not worth having a campaign if there's not an identifiable benefit that will result. When you think you have it, ask yourself, is that really the core of the issue we want to address? Or is that just a symptom of the issue? Or a separate but related issue? It is essential that you have a crystal clear focus from the start, and you do not waver in your focus. Take our case study example, Road Crew. They didn't just target drinking as the issue. In rural Wisconsin, drinking is deeply embedded in the community's social fabric. Instead, they targeted drinking and driving, specifically aiming to reduce crashes caused by young men driving under the influence. By focusing on reducing drunk driving, rather than eliminating drinking altogether, they crafted a program that was realistic, culturally sensitive, and achievable. The road crew team carefully identified their issue, drinking and driving, and they approached it with focus. They didn't get sidetracked by related issues. This helped them to develop an effective program. The key takeaway here is the importance of specificity by targeting drinking and driving rather than drinking, and by understanding their audience's motivations. Road crew crafted a program that was both culturally sensitive and highly effective. In the next video, we'll move on to Step 2, conducting a situation analysis. Stay tuned and keep strategizing.